The trade deadline is officially underway, and of course, we just got one of the biggest trades of this 2023 trade deadline, and that is Max Scherzer is currently going to the Texas Rangers, as a lot of sources have been saying, like Jeff Passan and John Heyman and people like that. But of course, I want to talk about the significance of this trade because who's really winning? Is it the Mets? Is it the Rangers? Let's just break it down all together. So first of all, if you don't know about the trade, let me break it down to you. The Mets are going to be paying a ton of salary of Max Scherzer for next year and this year to make it appealing for the Rangers. The Rangers in return gave up one of their top prospects. Now, funny enough, that top prospect that the Rangers did give up was Ronald Acuna Jr.'s brother, Luisangel, however you say it. I'm sorry, I'm butchering it. My Spanish is very bad. Acuna. Now, the funny part about this all is that the dynamic between Mets and Braves are always that they have a big rivalry. And of course, Acuna is supposed to be this guy that's supposed to come up in the next year and have a big impact on his team. So the brotherly rivalry is going to be very important for this Mets and Braves kind of rivalry in the future. Now, besides the fun aspect of it with the dynamics, let's talk about the numbers, right? Why does getting Acuna for the Mets seem really good for their side, and why is it okay for the Mets to give Scherzer to the Rangers, and why the Rangers should appreciate having Scherzer for on top of this half of the rest of the season and the next year? Now let's all break it down right now. So I want to start with Acuna because not a lot of people might not know how good he is or what he can do, but pretty much he's exactly kind of like his brother. He just needs to get his zone awareness up a lot more than it is already, and he should be able to affect the Mets team in 2024. This dude is going to be ready to go up as soon as possible. I don't think he'll be up at all this year because you already have a lot of Mets players that are seemingly going to be coming up every now and then. For example, look at Mark Vientos and things like that. But I think right now Acuna is going to sit steady in that AAA system with the Mets if he does get traded there, which seems pretty prominent. People like Jeff Passan have been saying this and John Heyman. Now there have been some people I'm saying the trade is on hold, but it looks like it's going through. So with that being said, let me read you some numbers and hopefully that helps you decide whether it was okay for the Mets to get him. So if you guys do not know, Acuna is 21 years old. He is hitting a 315 average with a 377 on-base percentage and a 453 slugging percentage with the team he's with right now in the Texas Rangers minor league system. Now, of course, these numbers could mean whatever, right? But these are very good numbers, and honestly, a lot of talent scouts have said that Acuna is going to become an above average MLB player. Now, I really do think this guy is going to have a big impact in the 2024 Mets or 2025 Mets, because man, this guy is ready to come up to the big leagues, and I generally think this is a great pickup for the Mets. Now let's talk about Max Scherzer. Why is it so good that he's going to the Rangers, and honestly why Mets fans should be okay with it? Because let's get to the facts right now. You guys gave away David Robertson yesterday. That was a straight sign that the Mets are going to be selling this season. Of course, at the trade deadline is what I mean, and honestly, getting rid of Max Scherzer is kind of sad, but in reality, it should be okay depending on how you feel about the guy or maybe his performance. But as of late, Max Scherzer has had his up and downs ever since the playoffs last year with the Padres, but ever since the start of the season, he's had a good start, then a bad start, then a good start, then a bad start. And of course, we all know the season has been like that for the Mets, unfortunately. Now, Max Scherzer going to the Rangers is really good because you have to look at it from the side that, hey, maybe Max Scherzer just wasn't really working out anymore for New York, and maybe if you're a Rangers fan, you should be happy that, hey, he's going to be with a new pitching staff, he's going to be with people he's played with already. Like, for example, you guys have DeGrom. Even though he's injured, he's still going to be able to interact with DeGrom. He was with DeGrom, of course, with the Mets last year, and I generally think this is going to be great because you guys have him for this half of the season and next year, and say, hey, he's not doing so hot and we still could get value out of him. Maybe you give him away next trade deadline. That's always a possibility as well, but I think having this veteran arm, this Hall of Famer arm in your rotation alongside your already pretty good rotation of pitchers right now, I think is amazing. Now, Max Scherzer, of course, will probably slot into your maybe third or second spot. It really depends what injuries are like and things like that. But I think this is a win-win for both teams. Now, does one team lose out? Yeah, it kind of sucks if you're a Mets fan because, hey, like our team is selling. We might not be able to make playoffs or even the wild card because we're going to be losing this guy that was pretty much our number 2 pitcher alongside Justin Verlander and Kodai Senga. So it is kind of a lose-lose, but for the Mets fans, you got to be happy for your future because you're getting this really young kid that you're going to have for the next 10 to 15 years, as long as he doesn't get dealt later in the years. Now, for the Rangers, yeah, it kind of sucks that you're losing this kid that should be your future, but you guys got to think, Rangers fans, you should be happy because your team is doing extremely well this season, and this guy is just going to add to maybe that chance of getting to that World Series, which I generally think the Rangers have a great chance, and I think having Max Scherzer pitch your Game 2 or Game 3 of the World Series injuries would be extremely helpful, especially since this guy is a big type of game pitcher. Now, of course, we know, injuries can happen. Max Scherzer is getting older, so he could be a bit injury prone, but you got to look at the positives from both sides. Now, honestly, I think both teams went out in this trade. I could see there's some negatives, but yeah, I'm just curious what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, it's just a quick update video on my raw reactions as I just got home from working like a 6-hour shift. Thank you guys for watching. My name's Joe, aka Jotalks. Welcome to the channel. If you are new, please sub. Have a great night or day when you're watching this. Stay safe. Bye.